Hi everybody, it's Amy at Crafty Cat, and I don't really have a plan today. Sorry, I hope you're all doing awesome. It's been a pretty nice day. I just have a million things running through my head that I want to try, but I definitely wanted to try some of these little file folders, and I just made these out of a regular, whole file folder. I just cut it down to, let's see, what did I cut it at? I don't have my thing going the right direction here. Well, I cut it at 3.5, but then I trimmed, let's see, about 5/8 off this side, just to make it, you want this side shorter than this side. So that's basically what I did. So this one I can see better because I don't have the tab on it. So, okay, so this one shows it better. This side is at 3.5, the back. So I cut the whole file folder off at 3.5. And then I opened it up like this and cut this at 3. So from here to the fold is 3, from the fold to the top is 3.5, so that you can get that nice little, that part sticking up on your file folder. And I just did it with my envelope punch board, and you can use whatever you want to use to punch the side, or you can just cut it, or you can trace like an actual file folder tab if you don't have anything to cut it with. But when I cut it, I just put it in, there's like this line right here, I don't know if you can see it, and I just line that up with that side line right there, and I punch it, maybe, and it gives you that little thing. And then I moved it over to where this was pointing at, let's see, where was it? No, let me do it this way. What am I doing? See, I'm having one of those days. When I get too many things going on in my brain, that's what happens. So at about 1 5/8, it's 1 5/8 is where the little point there is. Punch it again, and that gives you roughly, it's not perfectly the same size, but it's close. It doesn't matter. If you want to make them like completely even with each other, these are going to go in two entirely different things, so it's not a big deal for me that if their little tabs aren't exactly the same. But if you're trying to make duplicates, then make sure you mark where you cut it. And then I cut it at 4.5, across, so I just need to cut a little bit off of this. Cut that piece off. And then to make this more even, what I do is I have the little thing on my cutter with the little it's like a little wire almost, or a string right here, and I just line that up with this little divot right there so that it cuts off that amount and doesn't cut off more. And don't just slide it down, because you'll cut off your tab, so you just kind of want to go slow. And I'll even open it before I get all the way there, just because I don't want to cut my little tab off. And then on this side, I just, snip that little part off, because you don't need it. I got too big of scissors to do that with, but anyway. We're going to have one of those kind of days, I'm sorry. I've got so many ideas. And I don't know how that happens sometimes. Sometimes I can't think of anything to do, and other times it's just like, oh my word, stop. So I'm kind of having one of those. I mean, I like it when I get like that, because I'm very usually productive and creative. It's just that it's probably really aggravating for you guys. So apologize for that. If I had control over it, I would control it, but I don't. Okay, so we just have two little file folders, and they're not identical, but like I said, it's no big deal. First thing I wanted to use was Gail Augustinelli's little Valentine postcards that she has out. I shrunk mine down to 5x7, but they come in like the regular postcard size. So I just realized I can't use these ones because they're up and down. So I'll use one of these. but there's a whole bunch of them, and I'll show you. I printed them all small because I'm making some like small little books like this. I got this Chevy truck thing in the mail, and so I just put some pages and stitched them in with a 3-hole punch, you know, to sew in the signatures. And my husband made me the coolest thing. It's a book cradle to do the signatures. You can't put like a whole binding in there, but you've probably seen these, a lot of you, the book cradles. So it's just, it looks like this. And this one isn't super high. Like some of them you see these sides come like way up like this. Well, I asked him just to make me a little one, and he 3D printed it on his 3D printer. But then see, you can, the signatures just kind of go down in there, and it holds it really nice. So when you punch the holes in it, too close, let me get the light up. See the holes here? They punch really nice right in the very edge of the spine, which can be hard to do. Sometimes the holes come out a little too far this way, a little too far that way, you know what I mean? So with the little book cradle, when it's like that, and you put your awl in there to punch the holes, I'll show you real quick. So for those of you that are new and have never sewn in signatures, you just take your signatures, and you usually don't take your cover because it may be hard, you know, or wider at the spine or whatever, but because this is just a little book, the whole book could go in. So I just guesstimated with this one, but what I normally try to do is punch the hole right in the middle, one a little bit further down. It's usually an inch down, but obviously this isn't an inch down, and then an inch up from the bottom. But by having the book cradle, you can clamp your pages together with some, you know, clips, just so they are staying where you want them. And then you just push, and it goes all the way through, and it pokes your holes. So you can see there's the tip of the awl coming out right there. So see, it keeps it right directly in the center of the spine when you have the book cradle to do it in. So I thought that was super cool, and I was very pleased that he made me that. The only problem is he was saying it uses a lot of the plastic, because you can see it's all pretty solid. But if you guys are interested, let me know. We may sell these in my shop if it's something that, you know, people want. If not, then no worries. But I'm not going to make a bunch of them up because it takes like almost an entire day to print one on the 3D printer, and like I said, it uses a lot of his plastic, so I want to make sure that, you know, somebody's going to want one or whatever before I print it all out and everything. Anyway, that was a complete off the track, but so let's my goodness, ink this a little bit. These are coffee dyed file folders, and I just, you know, I put a little coffee dye on them. These ones I actually sprayed with a spray bottle, and just had them like in a pan and sprayed them, and would turn them over and spray them, that kind of thing. So they aren't like super dark or super grungy. They're just, you know, they have a little bit of stuff on them. I'm actually going to round these corners here. Things go flying everywhere. I'm going to go ahead and run this one too. And somebody asked me if I have a video for coffee dyeing. I really don't. I don't have a lot of room to coffee dye, and I know Joff at Medieval Mirage has a really cool technique, and she's videotaped it already, where she does it in like bins if you don't have a lot of room. My biggest problem now is that I don't really have that much time to do it, and really it's not one of my favorite things to do. So you know, I'll do a little bit if I need it, or I'll buy it, because it just, some people just get the coolest like designs and things like that, and I can't seem to find any of that sort of plastic lace and things that they use to get the designs. So I don't know. mine isn't very exciting even if I do it, so I don't think my videos would be worth a whole lot of interest. So that's my spiel on that. Because I literally just, you know, like have a little pan and I just pour coffee in there, and then I just kind of put one page in at a time and slosh the coffee around all over it, and then I leave it sit, dump out the coffee, and then just let them dry. And sometimes I bake them. I usually try to do it when it's warm out, like in the summer I try to do a bunch to have, but that's really all I do. I don't do any fancy techniques or anything. Put a little of this doily. I love these, Gail. They are so stinking cute. I just love Valentine's Day. It's really always been one of my favorites. And I don't know why. It's not like the love or the romance or, you know, any of that part of it. I just love the look of it and the images and things like that. So that's why I like it. I'm just looking for a piece of pink paper. I've got some of this from After Midnight. That would be cute. Pretty Roses. Sorry, I was prepared a few things, but I didn't like lay the whole thing out because I wasn't totally sure what I wanted to do. So these are from After Midnight Design on Etsy. I don't think I want that edge, just because for this I just don't feel like it goes that great. Tear that a little more. And a lot of people have been asking about these. I get these off of Amazon, so I'll leave a link below for these. It'll be in my description box if you click on the little arrow on the right hand side, then that's where that'll be. But I had and I'm still making some of those little Valentine's booklets, and then that little one I will be decorating as well for gifts and things for Valentine's Day. So that's what that's all going to be used for. And then I also painted, I saw this, I mean, I don't know if this is how they did it. I just saw pictures on Pinterest, but it looked like painted gauze. So I went and bought a roll of gauze, which gauze is a little different than it used to be. So it's a little more cottony maybe and less like cheesecloth. So yeah, that's that. And then I also printed out some of Gail's trims. I shrunk this one down to 5x7 size as well, just like I did with the postcards. I need to find my book. Okay, well I guess I'm not going to find my book. I'll use this. I've got projects going downstairs too, so that's probably where my book is. But yeah, I just took regular acrylic paint and I painted that, and then it's almost dry. It's not quite dry, but that's what that is. And I just thought that's kind of another texture that might be kind of fun to play with. I don't know, we'll see if it looks good or not. And like I said, these are Gail's trims. She's got all different ones in her shop, which I am positive most of you have checked out her shop because a lot of you have come over here from her channel because she's so kind and like shows my digis and stuff. So she's using that Valentine's one right now, which I thank her hugely for because that's just very nice of her to use it in her creations. Sweetest, kindest lady ever, I'm telling you. Not going to see a whole lot of that rose or anything. And I'm not really sure if I'll use the gauze. It just was a kind of a, I wanted to try it thing, because I just really liked the texture of it. And I've also had a lot of people asking me lately what you use junk journals for. And junk journals can be used for anything that a regular journal is. And I know a lot of people decorate them up a whole bunch and like almost every page and stuff. So maybe that would be more like an art piece, you know, something that you keep for its artistic type value or whatever. But I know the ones that I do, and like Gail does, and Denise at Wonder Bar Krause, and you know, a lot of us do junk journals that are meant for writing in. So we, even though we do a lot of decorating, we usually always leave room for writing, or you know, drawing, writing poems, you know, things like that. And then there's also art junk journals, which a lot of times will have like watercolor paper and things like that in them, for specifically like for watercoloring or painting, or you know, whatever the case may be. So they really can be used though for pretty much anything that you would use a normal journal for, because most people, like I said, that I know of anyway, that make journals leave lots of writing room, even though we might put a lot of pockets and things like that. And we usually add in like journaling cards and tags and things of that nature, so that you can still have spots to write. And a lot of people, I think, just like to decorate them further. You know, a lot of people use them as kind of their own artistic outlet by going with whatever the theme is and just taking it further and maybe writing little stuff. Obviously, maybe people that write, you know, really extensively or a lot, maybe they wouldn't like a junk journal as much. But I know for myself, I like them because I am not a great writer. Writing is not my thing. And so it's fun for me to keep memories and be able to write a little something, but I don't want huge blank pages, just because that doesn't work for me. And we're all different, and I know that a lot of people, that's what they really love, is to write, you know, a lot. So in that case, you might want one that's a little more simple. But there's lots of junk journal artists that do keep it more simple, with just very few pockets and things like that. So I think you just have to find, if you're looking for an artist, the artist that works for you, or if you're making your own journals, you just have to know what you want or what your expectations are out of a journal, and just make it that way, you know. You don't have to add all the things that all of us add. That's just the way we like to do it. But I don't want that. Trying to figure out what I do want. So yeah, I just thought I'd say that, because I have had just, I don't know, lots and lots of questions about what do you do with that, or you know, a lot of the pockets, or the envelope flips and things. A lot of people have been asking me, you know, what do you do with that? And in my case, I like to put them in pockets in the journals. Like I did that one winter envelope flip, and I just put it right into the pocket. So that's what I do with them. But you know, you can do it however you like to do it. You don't have to do it the way I do it. I'm just trying to give you ideas, even if you do something entirely different. It's these ideas are basically just a jumping off place. Like, you know, do whatever works for you. If you just like one little, you know, maybe a pocket in the front, a pocket in the back, and all the rest writing pages, then you can totally make your journals that way. So it's really just how you want to do it. And I'm not saying I'm right or anything. I mean, everybody definitely has their own distinct style for sure. So like I said, you just got to find that, either that artist or, you know, in yourself what you're looking for. Okay, so I think I'm going to add that like that. I like that. I just like that little bit of texture with the gauze. It may not be your thing, you know. You could add a piece of lace too, just as easily. So I just really liked that texture of that. And so like this, I would either put it on a page directly, glue it onto the page, and then it could open like this and maybe have some writing space in here, or add extra pages. You could stitch in extra pages if you wanted to like tuck it into a pocket. I'm trying to think what else. Oh, you could glue the sides and just have it as a tuck spot, you know, like a just tuck in cards and things like this, which may be what I end up doing with it, because I'm probably going to use it in one of these books that I've been making, because it's too big for that little one that I just showed you guys. But like in here, if I glued it onto the page, or right here, then I've got a few little other spots to write. So yeah, so there's one, and I think that's definitely how I'll end up using that, because I can definitely put these little guides in there. In fact, I think I'll just go ahead and put this one in, so this book is that much further along, even though I don't have the front done yet. These are so cute, Gail. Adorable. So yeah, I like to make things like this as gifts, and you guys have seen them. You know, I've done some other ones, so I won't, you know, go into great detail with this, but and I'm going to leave it so it could be a text spot behind it, which would give you another place to, you know, add some lined paper or something to write on. So although a lot of pages do get covered when we make these journals, we very often add, I'm off camera here, add other spots to write on. And like I said, if you're a writer, like you, that's your thing is writing, then it definitely may not be for you to have a junk journal with very much decoration in it, because you just may just want to write. But I think for a lot of people it just helps, because sometimes I just want to say something quick about whatever the memory was or whatever. Like I might put a photograph in and just want to put a little something. I mean, like something like this, or this one definitely, what I'm going to do with it is put little love or Valentine type quotes in it. So see, I can just write a little something on each page and maybe have a little decoration or whatever. And that's just kind of a fun gift to give somebody. I think a lot of people think that this is like a waste of time, or, you know, that type of thing, but for some of us it's, you know, our art, or this is our outlet, this is where we like to create, and this is just our form of art. So I think it's just all how you look at it, really. So that little one will go right in there. So I think that's kind of fun. So that's one way that would get used. Alright, the next one I want to do is a little more kind of along the lines of what we were doing the other day. And I don't know if this will go in that same journal or what, but I just, I'm dying to play with my Tim Holtz pictures. So if you guys have something you're working on, go ahead and get that out. And because you've already seen one of these, so it's not like it's going to be really exciting, but I want to make another one. So yeah, I hope that helped. You know, I just think it's a personal preference. If junk journals aren't like your thing, then you're probably not going to be into like all the decoration and stuff. But for lots of us, it's just a whole lot of fun, and we just love doing it and, you know, sharing and all that. So and the junk journaling community is a great community. All very lovely, nice ladies I have found. I mean, just so kind and generous with their time and everything. So it's just kind of a really fun thing to be involved in, I think. But it may not be for everyone. I'm going to kind of round that just a little. For some reason it was bothering me how pokey and pointy it was. Alright, so I think what I'm going to do with this one, I painted some of the gauze green, and then I punched out a Tim Holtz frame thing, or it's, I don't know, it's Sizzix, but it's the alterations, Tim Holtz alterations, or whatever they're called. I linked it in my last video, so if you're interested in finding these die cuts, they're these little frame guys, then you can go ahead and check that out. But I've had loads of interest in junk journaling, which is awesome, because I really want it to stick around for a while. I was so bummed when, because for a while scrapbooking was huge, and you could go buy supplies. There were lots of really neat stores for paper products. And I mean, it's never gone away. It's not that. It's just, it used to be much more readily available than it is now. And it just became hard to find stuff, you know. So I'm really happy to see, you know, some of that stuff coming back, or more interest in paper and stuff again. Not that it ever went away, but I want to figure out which one of these I want to use. These are Tim Holtz photo booth is what these are called. I kind of want to find sort of explorer-esque type thing is what I'm looking for. I don't know if there'll be any. I haven't had a chance to look through all of them, so I don't know. Funny. I don't know that any of those are really what I had in mind. So I guess maybe we'll just go with, that would have been a cute, that'd be a cute Valentine's one, and that one too. That probably wouldn't be bad. These are so funny. He just have like a mountain behind him, but I don't know if that. Herschel. There's some of them are signed. That might work. He's got like a hat on, and I don't know, not that that's really an explorer's hat, but okay, well, let's put it together and see what we come up with. So I had, or I saw on Pinterest, like I said, I think I'll just go with that one with the mountain behind there. I don't know why or whatever, but around these corners just a little bit. They're kind of hokey. Yeah, I don't know exactly what I'm going to use this for, but it'll eventually end up somewhere. I just feel like playing, so that's what I'm doing. And then I painted a piece of that gauze green. I don't think I want the whole entire thing, but when you cut it, it doesn't look as cool as when it's torn, I don't think. This one's still a little bit wet. I'm going to end up, see, paint on my fingers. This end's pretty much dry. It's the other end that's not. So the best way, obviously, to do this would be to let it dry, but because of the video, we're going to have to use it just a little bit wet, and I think it'll be fine, but sorry about that. Okay. Put that there, and then I want a piece of old book page. Denise sent me this Reader's Digest that's really nice, and that was a cool one with that airplane. Well, where is it now? Weird. Take this little airplane. I don't know that I'll use that, but I really just want the paper behind here is really what I'm I'm going to go ahead and tear it there because he's going to be in this part, so it doesn't matter if it goes all the way over. So something like that, I think. I need my paper back. I feel like it needs something behind it a little bit, so let's use a ticket. Forgetting how wet this is. I still got it on my board, didn't I? To get an idea of where that's going to go. Oh my goodness, me and the glue. I got to get it everywhere. Somebody told me the other day, thank you so much, she's like, you could use that tape, you know, like when you're doing the windows for the envelope that I did, the acetate. It's like, Yeah, you could if you would ever remember stuff like that, but I don't ever remember about the tape because I just really don't use a whole lot of the like double-sided tape. It's an excellent idea. I mean, that was so nice of her. My gosh, duh. Like, I don't know why I have trouble remembering that stuff, but I do. Because I just seem to use mostly, you know, glue. So, but yes, with the acetate, that is definitely a wonderful idea to use that tape for sure. I really don't want a ton of glue because I think I'm going to stitch around this. Before this sticks down entirely, I'm going to put some up there at the top. I don't really want to see the title of that necessarily. Plus, this will just give it another dimension kind of thing. What I did with my books. I hate when I do that. I kind of come over his picture a little bit too, so it's kind of like a little collage within there. I'm going to stitch that so it doesn't have to have tons of glue. Alright, so there's that part, and this is pretty much dry now. I'm liking that lower bit better. There's still green. And then, stop. I got this cool fabric from Melody. Thank you so much, Melody. It was in her Happy Mail she sent. Super kind. Yeah, something like that is what I'm gonna do. And I'm sorry I don't have a better way to like show you stitching and stuff like that. I just don't have a good setup for that. I think Rachel and Gail do a great job at that anyways. Okay, so I'm going to go stitch this and then I'll come back and show you, exactly what I did. I'll be right back. Okay, hi, I'm back. So I just stitched, you can see all around the frame. I went out a little bit over here to kind of hold that fabric down over there. But that's it. And then I think I'm going to take, it helps if I put it in screen, right? This black, and I just want the 17 and that part. I'm just going to stamp that right here, just for some interest, you know, the stuff we do. Because I want to, and maybe a stamp would be fun somewhere. Oh, that's cute, it's got a kiwi on it. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that kind of a thing. And I think I want to do that little cancellation stamp thing on it. I don't really want the postcard portion that much. Okay. Almost covered up the little kiwi bird. That'll be bad. Thanks, Denise. Keep using Denise's stamps. It's awesome of her to send those. I so appreciate her. She sends me too much stuff, Denise. It's so kind, but not necessary at all. Okay, so there's that. And then I want like a number or something up there. This, but we're going to stamp it onto a piece of old paper. I thought I'd use the plain and I never did. But let's get this. And this, I like this up here. And there's no rhyme or reason, so like it doesn't have to mean anything. And it's not all going to fit up there, is it? Like that would be fun. Oopsie. See, I calmed down again. It just really helps me to do this, so thank you guys for being patient with me. I really appreciate it. I think once, so next Monday is my last day at work, and once I can get in a groove, I'll be fine again. I'm just kind of, it's just hard quitting a job for no job kind of thing. I mean, this is a job, you know, I mean, this is what I love, so I guess I don't feel like it's a job. Maybe that's what the thing is. So thank you for your patience. I really, really, really appreciate it. And your kindness and your comments and just everything. I can't tell you how much it means to me. You guys have just been awesome. And it's just all that whole new thing, I think, is what my deal is. And you've been reassuring me. I'm just one of those people. I have to worry. I just do, because that's what I do. So, anyways, just thank you very much. All right. So I think that one's good. And I think what I'll do with this one probably is, I don't know, it depends on where it goes. You know, I think I'm going to wait until I decide where I'm going to put it, because it's going to depend on whether I want it to like flip down and have a writing space, or if I want to add some pages, or you know what. But I just had to try a few techniques. I wanted to play with the gauze, and then I really wanted to play with these pictures. So, and you'll probably see more of it, but for now I'm gonna let you go. So we have that one, just so we review what we did today, and then this little guy in here for the cute little postcards that Val gave us, or Gail. I got from Gail. Wow. Yeesh. Okay, I'm going to put February 14 and stamp it on that little part that sticks out. Actually, maybe we'll do it on paper like we did and glue it up there so that it has a little more something interesting. Sorry, I thought I was going to let you go. I mean, you can go if you want to. And that's just one of those little things that you get at like Office Max or Office Depot or wherever. You can probably get them at Walmart and everywhere else. They're just the little like date stamps. And mine's actually old. I don't even have the right years anymore. It only goes to like, I don't know, 2008 or something like that. But anyway. I really don't need all of that. I love old book page that just like tears and stuff really easy. I love the feel of it, and I just like playing with it. It's just fun. You like, just wait till you see my latest digi. You'll see I had way too much fun playing with paper. But I think it's turning out kind of cool, so I hope you guys like it. It should be out. It's all done. I just have to get my son to do a few things in Photoshop and get it all ready for Etsy and all that. But anyways. So that is that. All right. So, oops, it'd help if I put it in the camera. I'm sorry, getting used to this camera arm. All right, I will let you guys go now. Have an awesome evening. And again, I can't thank you enough. I just thank you from the bottom of my heart for all your support and everything. So we'll chat again soon. Bye-bye now.